This is Tonight Alive. Over the course of 3 albums and countless shows, the Australian band has attracted a worldwide following. Now, on the verge of releasing album number 4, it's safe to say the world is at their feet. This is Jenna. You may know her as the vocalist from Tonight Alive. You're about to know her for even more. Here is Jenna's Guide to Life.
We're definitely coming into a new age of awakening for mental health, especially with our artists. The hours aren't normal, nothing's normal in the artist world.
Yeah.
And so what's it like being human and existing in a completely unhuman environment like that?
Yeah, I found myself very disassociated from it, and at times that's made me really jaded, and it's made me like want to get the hell away from it. And then once you kind of go through that whole process, I feel like you can come to a place where you're like, okay, in the world but not of it. So like I understand that like even though I just want to be like a nudist hippie that just lives off the earth, and like I want to do all these things like that, like still in the material world, and like there's things like parking tickets, there's things like Australian business numbers that get, you know, cancelled and you need to renew it, and there's just annoying things that happen and you got to do it. I don't know, so relating that to like the music industry, it's kind of like, okay, this is all part of the game, it's just a game, like lighten it up a little bit. And you know, people of authority or whatever like that, it's just they're just puppets, or they're just actors, so like just kind of like lighten the world a little bit and not feel so burdened and so heavy because of it. That helps me to see through it a bit more, see through the illusion, see through the theater of it all, because I'm just playing a role, and you know, I'm just a projection of what I think I am and what other people think I am, and that all comes together to make this thing. And I don't know, just that, you know, being disillusioned actually really helps me.
So when did you get to that point? That's like a tipping point to kind of cross over to that and just being like, no, I'm not, like I'm seeing these people for actors, you know, because that's brave, you know, that's bold. Like so many people will never get there, and they'll just constantly be like, oh no, that person is above me, they are a god kind of thing. They'll have that complex. What was that moment for you? Was there this like one moment when you just kind of like, fuck this? Like did you kind of have that one moment when you realized that this was all just an illusion and we're all just kind of smiling and nodding and no one actually knows what the hell's going on?
I think one of my fuck this moments would definitely be shaving my head last year, which some people would think would be like a meltdown situation, but it wasn't. It was just a total, I keep going for the word rebuttal, but I really want to use a different word. It's kind of like I was just counteracting the oppression that I felt, and that's oppression that I accepted upon myself too, like whether it's through exposing yourself to certain types of social media accounts, or like just getting wound up by gossip, or like, I don't know, just dealing with the TV and the news. And I don't watch the news, and I don't follow any more models or like public figures on Instagram. Like I think like it was a real progressive thing for me of feeling more and more squashed. And someone said to me recently that the more polished our sound became over our career, the less polished my image was, which was really cool, because I became more angry and more fierce and more like empowered in a way. I guess angry is not the right word, but you see things like with having done Limitless and the Drive music video and stuff like that, and then going into Warp Tour a few months later, I had a bowl cut with a zero shave and like wearing militant like costume on stage and black eye makeup, and I was just doing everything I could to push against it. So coming to September and shaving my head was just kind of like, I need to be so free of the thing that controls me, and I felt that was image, and I don't want to be conventionally beautiful, and I don't want that to control me. Like I know that that's what Sony wanted from me. I know that they were really pushing for me to stand out from the guys and for me to have a more feminine image and stuff like that, but it's not really what I resonated with. Even though I tried it, it just didn't work for me. I didn't feel like I was representing myself properly, so it was really nice to, like, it's just so empowering to take like a razor to your head and just go,
totally,
see ya.
Was there any element of that from not the label, maybe from fans, where you felt as though you had this expectation of fans to be something that you were setting up to be with all these albums? Did you have that feeling at all, that the pressure was coming from the fans to be something that you maybe weren't?
Thankfully no, but there's only really been one moment in the whole of my like Tonight Alive career that I felt our fans turn on me, and that was when I did green box braids and green dreadlocks at the start of the Limitless cycle, which is really interesting because we talk about the commercial image and sound and everything like that, but the inception of Limitless was really, I wanted to be like neo-futuristic punk, and I wanted to reference Killing Heidi, and I just wanted to have this alien, earthy vibe, and that's why we did How Does It Feel, and that's why Human Interaction, I've got green box braids and stuff like that. But our fans weren't really on my page because there's so much conversation about cultural appropriation.
Right, okay.
And people were sort of considering me to be really disrespectful and not racist, but just ignorant. And that really was painful for me because I don't believe that I'm either of those things. So that was really difficult to handle, and I felt that for the first time there's a huge separation between who I am and who people think I am. And that space in between, people fill, and they go, well, she does this or says this or likes this, so she by default likes this and this and this. And
Right.
I just felt like that whole grey area was filled by people's projections of what I was, and so I let them down in that moment, and it was really scary. And that's the first time that I was like, social media is so unhealthy for me, because it's this constant influx of people's reactions and comments and
no one
commentary.
stops, takes a minute, has a cup of tea before they comment.
Right.
They don't collect their thoughts. They
Right.
just go for it.
And I read them. They're there. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, no, don't look at my feedback. I do, because I do care. I do care about my relationship with our fans, and I really am conscious about what I'm putting out there. So for my intention to be misunderstood is really, really painful.